Welcome to this final press conference as we get set for a great night of World Championship Boxing this Saturday at the Manchester Arena. And it is all being brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions, along with their great sponsors, 32 Red and Foot Asylum. Now, if you can't join us at the Manchester Arena this Saturday night, you can watch on BT Sport Box Office or in the United States on ESPN+. Well, our main event is scheduled for 12 rounds and will be for the IBF Featherweight Championship of the World. At this time, allow me to introduce to you those participants. First, he is the challenger. He comes to us from Belfast, Northern Ireland. He brings a record consisting of 25 wins, just one defeat, with 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the former two-weight world champion, Carl the Jackal Frampton. And now let's welcome the defending world champion from Leeds, England. He is undefeated with 27 wins, 6 come by way of knockout. Let's welcome the reigning and defending IBF Featherweight Champion of the World, Josh the Leeds Warrior Warrington. And at this time, I will hand things over to the voice of BT Sport Boxing, Mr. John Rawling.
Thank you very much, Thomas, and thank you, everybody, for being here today for a bill which I've been looking forward to massively ever since it's been announced. There are a number of fights which really are pick-em sort of fights. You can't really establish a favourite one way or another, and that for me is the definition of a really top-class boxing show, and I think that is most definitely what we've got here in Manchester this weekend. Now, as I told you earlier on, Frank can't be with us as the promoter because there's been an accident on the line between London and Manchester, so he's unable to make it here. So Francis kindly stepping into the breach and just set the scene for us, Francis, about just how important this is as a show and for British boxing.
Thanks, John. Thanks for everyone for coming in today. I hope you're all looking forward to this as much as I am, as much as John has just said he is as well. This is the fight. This is the card of the year. This is the best domestic fight of the year, the best domestic card of the year. It's 50-50s all the way down, all the way down the card. In Josh and Carl, you've got two guys who are absolutely in the prime of their careers. Josh will be coming off that fantastic win against Lee Selby at Ellen Road. Carl coming off a fantastic win against Luke Jackson in Belfast. Both sold out arena shows, and now they're pitching their wills against each other for the world title. This is the only show to watch this weekend. It's a fantastic night of boxing we've got planned. Just very, very much looking forward to it, and hope to see you all there on Saturday. Yeah,
going to be a great crowd in attendance as well, and a committed crowd, to say the least. Some very popular fighters on the bill. Are there still a few tickets available?
Got about just under 1,000 tickets left, and I'm pretty sure that they'll go this week. Last night's public workout was very well attended, and obviously today we've got fantastic media presence, so I'm sure with the coverage that you guys are going to get us this week, they will go. So we're looking forward to a sellout on Saturday.
Yeah, I think the fact that we've got just so many people here for the media press conference, cameras, written press, is indicative of just how this is capturing the boxing imagination, and how people who really follow the sport closely, they know that this is a real card. In many ways, it's a trade card, Francis.
Well, it is, and you've got to take your hat off to the guys who are supporting this fantastic top of the bill. Liam and Mark, they're both, Liam stepping up to middleweight to challenge what everyone keeps calling a prospect in Mark Heffron. But I see that as a real 50-50. I think Mark's proven himself in his last couple of fights. He's more than capable of facing the likes of Liam Williams, and Liam's got a point to prove. A couple of disappointing results against Liam Smith, and he's going up to show what he can do at the higher weight, become a two-weight British champion. So I think that would be a great feat for him. And you've also got Martin Murray, who is storming through again, looking for another full world title shot, fighting a former world title holder in Hassan Amdam. It's another great fight. Martin, he was quoted last week in saying he doesn't want this to end. Neither do we. I think he's a fantastic man, a fantastic fighter, and a great ambassador for the sport. And I hope to see him get his world title shot early next year. But obviously, Hassan's got a lot to say about that.
And we'll be hearing from both of them shortly. So it's time now to introduce you to the fighters who are fighting on Saturday night. And first of all, the young man in front of me, younger brother of Tyson Fury, Tommy Fury, a light heavyweight, making his professional debut in a four-rounder. The family name has another, well, is it going to be a star coming through? We will see. Let's hear from Tommy. How are you going, Tommy? Looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for everyone turning out today. I've been using this one word a lot this week. I'm blessed to be in this position that I am. I'm not a fool. I won't be here without Tyson, so I thank him for what he's done for me. But in life you've got to take these opportunities it's handed to you, and I will be taking this one with both hands.
The last time we spoke was before Tyson went into his world title fight against Deontay Wilder in Los Angeles. I guess now, having seen what he did, you must be very proud of him.
Yeah, of course. He's been there to the pits of hell, and he's come back to the top of the hill again. And he's had a 3-year layoff, and he's been abusing his body in that 3-year layoff, and he's had 2 comeback fights against relatively low opposition, and he was straight back in there, and the world knows he is the WBC World Heavyweight Champion. So as long as everyone knows that, it is what it is at the end of the day. We got robbed, but that's what happens in the sport of boxing. You get bad decisions, but everyone knows if you go out to America and get a draw, you've won.
You've had yourself as an amateur, is it 11 or 12 amateur fights, and now into the pro game? So not a huge amount of experience.
Yeah, it is what it is. My dad always said if you can fight, you can fight. And for me, I'm a young kid. I've had 12 amateur fights. I knew what it was about in the first couple of fights. I'm not really new to it. I've been around it all my life. So I thought, listen, if I'm going to do it properly, let's do it at the end of the day. And I thank Frank Warren and BT Sport for putting me on. And again, I'm blessed to be in this position, and I thank everyone who's supported me along this journey.
You've got the name, the Fury name. Is that a help or a hindrance? Because of there's an enormous expectation about what you might achieve.
Yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. There's going to be a lot of pressure on, but I knew that coming into this at the end of the day. There's never not going to be, from being a young kid, there's always pressure on me. People used to come down to the gym and be like, oh, that's Tommy Fury, da-da-da-da. So I've learned to live with the pressure, so it don't really bother me. And like I've said before, I'm not here to, live up to anybody. I'm just going to do the best that I can do. I've come into this sport. I'm trying to do my own thing. I'm just going to do the best that I can. I'm not going to sit here and slag anybody off. I'm privileged and I'm blessed to be in this position. And the best I can do, I will be doing so. When this is all said and done, and I'm sat down and finished, and about 60 years of age, I'll know that I've done everything in my power possible of what I can do. And if I can achieve half of what Tyson's done, I'll be very privileged, because he's the best fighting man I've seen.
Thank you very much, Tommy. Well said.
Thank you.
Articulate and likeable young lad, just 19 years old and looking to make his way in the professional game, coached by Ricky Hatton. I remember when Ricky was 18 or 19, coming into the professional game at a very early stage, and look what he achieved, and now looking to pass on his knowledge and experience to Tommy. Well, let's concentrate now and move on to the fight between Michael Conlan, who's sitting down on my right, who's undefeated in 9 fights from Belfast, up against Jason Cunningham, who's from Doncaster, a southpaw. And let's hear from Jason first of all, because I know you're going in against somebody who's a really highly touted fighter here, 9 out of 9, and seemingly the golden boy. What do you think of him when you look at him?
Yeah, I'm excited to be excited by this opportunity. Didn't take much persuasion when I offered it, but it's what I do. I don't shy away from fights. I'm a fighting man, and yeah, we'll see what Michael's got Saturday night.
You've been quoted as saying, "I'm going to take it to him, put it on him, and let's see if he's for real."
Yeah, well, like I say, it's his, his proper acid test. I respect him. Obviously, his amateur achievements. It's unbelievable, isn't it? So, if he does bring that and he's the real deal, then we'll take it to trenches. As simple as that.
You're tall. You're a southpaw. You've had Commonwealth titles at both bantamweight and featherweight. What do you reckon you can bring to him to give him real problems?
Well, to be fair, I started at flyweight. How I made it, I don't know myself like, but flyweight to featherweight, if you win a major title, there's got to be something about yourself. I was a decent amateur myself, ABA champion. And like I say, I'm going into this fight, no pressure if you like, with the experience behind me. And I'm just going to leave it all there Saturday night. I'm enjoying this moment, being part of this bill. It's a bill to be proud of, and I'm just really, really looking forward to Saturday night.
How the hell you ever made flyweight is a question in itself.
Starvation.
Now let's hear from Michael. Pleased, first of all, I should imagine, to be a part of this bill.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming, first of all. But I'm really, really pleased to be a part of it. It's a huge show, first pay-per-view show at Boxdown, so I'm looking forward to a great evening Saturday night.
And what are your thoughts about your opponent, about Jason?
Just the same as every other opponent. I know Jason's tough. He has a lot of experience. He's obviously won 2 Commonwealth titles in 2 different divisions, I think. But it's nothing I haven't seen before. Whether it's amateur or professional, I've had over 260 amateur fights. And I've 9 so far as professional. I've faced every stage you could face, and I've fought many a southpaw. So I've worked really hard in this training camp. I haven't took him lightly at all. And Saturday night, I'm just looking to go in and put on a great performance.
What sort of problem does the fact he's a southpaw, what sort of problem does that bring?
I'm not going to say it brings any problems, because I've faced many southpaws and I know how to handle them. And I've had loads of southpaws in for sparring for this training camp, and everything has went well. I'm very, very confident in what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. 9
out of 9 so far. Any predictions about what you're going to produce?
Just a great performance. I'm going to in there and put a great performance on and show what I'm really about. If Jason really wants to come and come into the trenches with me, I'm more than happy for that. That's something I would love him to do. And if he is the man he says he is, and I know he's a tough man, but if he does that, game over.
And I guess that you'll be wanting to get it all done and dusted and to get back to ringside to see your friend here, Carl, in action.
Definitely, I've been a fan of Carl all my life. I'm a friend of him now, and the fact that he's going in there against Josh, who's a great champion, it's a fight that really intrigues me as a fan. I'm looking forward to watching it. It's 2 highly skilled fighters going at it.
We've got heavyweights on the bill as well. We've got Nathan Gorman in front of me here, undefeated fighter, Manchester-based, trained by Ricky Hatton again, against Razvan Cojanu, a Romanian who was due to have been fighting Daniel Dubois, but that obviously couldn't happen because Daniel had the flu, and so Razvan moving on and fighting Nathan Gorman. Let's hear from Razvan first of all. Nathan's a rather different kind of fighter from Daniel. Tell us what you think about him.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who's in this room, all the boxing people. And a big thank you for the promoter who gave me this opportunity in such a short notice to fight against Nathan. Now, Nathan, it's a total different style. Daniel, it's a tall fighter who's straight in the line, and Nathan, it's quick, a little bit shorter, and fighting, moving by the angles, and using a lot of his body work.
You went the distance in a world title challenge not so far back, WBO title challenge against Joseph Parker. How will that experience help you?
That was a great challenge for me. I was in his camp actually, and the situation came like the last 2 weeks of the camp. They didn't use me anymore, but they still keep me in the camp. And I feel a little bit like I was set up a little bit. After the 2 weeks I got home, I was there, I invited my family, my wife, my kids. We had fun in Vegas for like 2 weeks. I got home and I got the phone call. And exactly how I said it before, I'm not gonna be crazy to say no to a title shot. Even at 12 in the night, I'm gonna take it. I'm a fighter. This is my job.
And there's 6'7" of you. You're going to have a big reach advantage over Nathan. Is that you think that's important?
Yeah, why not? I'm gonna use my reach. Actually, I'm just want to say I'm a huge fan of Nathan coach, Ricky Hatton, which I always been one of the biggest name for me in boxing. And like I saw about Nathan, Ricky worked with him a lot for the body shots. I'm considering myself, I have good body shots too. And that's going to be a great challenge for me.
Nathan, let's hear from you. What do you know about Razvan, first of all? Have you seen much of him?
Yeah, I've watched a few clips, of Razvan. He's a very tough fighter, let's be fair. He took Joseph Parker to a points decision. He's mixed at world level. He's been there with some really good fighters, Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker. So, I've got to be on my A game come Saturday.
It was going to be a fight against Alex Leapai, first of all, but I think a lot of people might say that this fella potentially is a harder test than Leapai would have been.
Yeah, definitely. I was due to fight Leapai. He called me a few names, and a couple of days after that, he pulled out. But, that's boxing. But this fella at the side of me, he's a completely and utter different style to Leapai. Leapai was someone 6 foot, a very short, compact fighter who likes looking for overhand punches. Razvan, is a very tall fighter. Like I say, he uses these body shots, uses these jabs. So it's two different styles, and some people will say, and I probably agree with them, he's a lot better fighter than Leapai.
I guess the fact that you sparred and worked with Tyson as he was getting back into fitness before his fight against Deontay Wilder, you're well used to going into the ring against a big man.
Oh, without a doubt, Tyson's probably the biggest man I've ever clapped eyes on. So I'm definitely well prepared for it.
So what are you looking to get out of this fight? Because I'm sure, let's just hear from Francis first of all, because, at this stage in your career, you're unbeaten now in 14. When a fighter gets to this sort of stage, as a heavyweight, it must be getting harder and harder to find the right matches to make the career progress.
Well, I think between Nathan and his team, Ricky and Paul and Mick, that we know what the right matches are. It's just a case if those right matches want to take the risk and fight Nathan, which not a lot of them do. We saw that with Leapai. And so fair play to Razvan for stepping up to the plate and taking on what is going to be a very, very risky fight for him. We really believe Nathan is something special. And it'd be interesting to see the comparisons between what Nathan does on Saturday to what, say, Joseph Parker did with Razvan.
Yeah, if you get an impressive win, Razvan will obviously have other ideas and just say you're talking rubbish. But if you get an impressive win, it makes a statement, doesn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. But first and foremost, I'm going there looking for the win. If I get the win and do what we've been doing in the gym, I'll be laughing. I've had a good 10 weeks training camp, and what I've been doing in the gym, I've been flying at the minute in the gym. And if I can pull it off Saturday night, we'll be flying. But Razvan's no joke. He's a former world title contender. He's not coming over here to lay down. If he beats me, it puts him in the mix. So he's on his A game as well as I am. So it's intrigue for a good fight.
Very, very different fight for Razvan than what he'd originally anticipated, coming over to fight Daniel Dubois. Nathan, altogether a different box of tricks from Dubois. It's going to be a fascinating fight, and that's one of our excellent undercard fights to look forward to on Saturday night. Right, let's move along to another intriguing one. Martin Murray against Hassam Njikam, WBC silver middleweight title fight. I should also say that Nathan against Razvan, WBC silver international title. But Martin, at the age of 36, looking once again to move towards a world title shot, maybe in 2019, but this is a tough fight, Martin.
Yeah, it's a tough fight, but you say 36. I only turned pro at 26, I think it was. So if I'd turned pro at 18, I'd been 28, I'd have been a spring chicken. But I mean, I'm feeling good. I know I'm coming to the stages of, the latter stage in my career, but I'm training a lot smarter than ever, listening to my body more. I've got that buzz back. I kind of lost that buzz a couple of years ago. And training was hard. Now the gym being the way that it is, I'm buzzing. I'm loving going to the gym, and I'm feeling like I'm the best fighter I've ever been. You know, I've just done an interview saying that I can't remember the last time I've got into a fight week feeling this good. I'm buzzing for Saturday. Amdam's a tough fighter. He's fought some former world champion, fought some world-class fighters, and I know that he's obviously going to bring it on Saturday, but these are the type of fights that I want. You know, it took me 2.5 years to get back into a fight like this, and me and I'm buzzing. You know, I plan on winning on style on Saturday. I'm finishing this year on high. I'm looking forward to 2019.
Hassan, perhaps the sharpest dressed man in the room, or certainly one of them. Tell us, apart from Michael, of course, and Josh and Tommy and you as well, and maybe me. I don't know, but no, you're looking good. Tell us about this fight and about what you hope to get out of it.
First of all, hello everyone. First of all, I want to thank my team, Jean-Marc, Charlie Sims, my beautiful wife. I want to thank for all the job that you've done to build me and bring me here with ambitious expectations. I want to thank Frank Warren and Martin Murray to give me that opportunity to fight you today, this Saturday. We are not here to do a trash talking because boxing is the sport, and the only thing we will meet Saturday is for your belt, and I working hard to take your belt, and you working hard to keep that. So after this fight, we enjoy life with victory and not victory, with belt without belt. So we're gonna take a pleasure Saturday to fight. I know that Martin Murray is the top fighter. He fight a world-class fighter, and it's gonna be a tough fight for me Saturday. So we're gonna enjoy that fight Saturday and enjoy life. The only advice that I want to give to Martin Murray is don't do boxing for people, do it for you. Otherwise, everything is gonna be Saturday, whatever what's gonna be Saturday, do for you. Retire if you want. If your body says stop, don't retire because people say to you to retire. That's only my advice.
Cheers, man.
You've not fought since October last year, so that's a sizable time out of the ring, Hassan. Is that a problem to you? Is there a problem in preparations to get the old rust away?
No. It's only since one year is the decision for me to don't come back directly to fight because I want to change my team. Now I have a new trainer, a new manager, so that takes the time to know how we're walking, the direction that we're gonna take. We want to be a world champion again, and this fight is gonna be a decision fight for us to be there, So it take a lot of time. I want to get a big fight before I want to fight Chris Eubank in super middleweight. So the fight was cancelled. So we have Martin Murray today. We're working hard for that. So let's see Saturday.
Well, you've got masses of experience, been a world champion, as we've said, been a WBO world champion in time gone by, had the WBA strap as well. So, Martin, as you go into this and seeing him there, you must have had to prepare for this pretty much as though you were going to have as though this was a world title shot.
Yeah, definitely. You know, every fight kind of like the same for me now, and what I mean by that is I'm one loss away from retirement. So you know, it's been really important for me to keep winning. But it's these type of fights, I guess, and against Amdam, who's a dangerous opponent, that you know you do really treat it like a world title fight. I know that if I come through this on Saturday, I know I've got a big 2019, and it's you know, I'm looking at him like he's been the first. You know, I know we had the Garcia win in June, and then since Milos Zagroves, there's been Gabriel Rizardo, but the good fighters, you know, I didn't really class them as dangerous fighters. I've classed Amdam as a dangerous fighter, and I've trained that way, and that's what I'm expecting on Saturday night. You know, I feel I'm in the best condition I've ever been in, and I'm really looking forward to putting the show on Saturday.
It's a fantastic fight. It's another, as Francis was saying, of these pick-em fights. It's a difficult one to make out a clear favourite one way or the other. Obviously, Martin will have a lot of local support coming from just down the road in St Helens, but Hassan, talented fighter with a great pedigree, and that stacks up to be a really good fight. Now, moving on from there onto the top table and talk about pick-em fights. Mark Heffron against Liam Williams for the vacant British middleweight title. Francis, it absolutely has all the makings, this one. People are finding it very difficult to establish really who's the favourite for this.
Sorry, I mean, it's just a great fight. You know, it's one of those, then, it was made, everybody was quite surprised, I think. To start with, obviously, I think maybe quite surprised that Liam went up to middleweight. Not that he took the fight, but he moved up in weight. Because I know he loves making light middle. and also maybe, you know, a lot of people may be saying this is a step too far, too quickly for Mark. But I disagree with all that entirely. I think it's a fantastic fight, a fantastic matchup. And it really does, you know, propel the winner onto the next level a little bit quicker. Nobody wanted to fight Mark within in the British rankings, so we did have to go and look for a game competitor at a lower weight, and we found not just a game competitor, but a world-class fighter in Liam Williams. And I think now it's down to Mark to prove to us whether or not he's capable of doing that, and it's down to Liam to prove to us whether or not he's still got that burning desire to get back on the world level.
Well, let's hear from Liam first of all, who's made his way up from Wales. Well, he's actually made his way down from Sheffield, because that's where he's been preparing with Dominic Ingle, but there'll be plenty of Welsh support coming up as well. And I don't think I've ever seen you look as cheerful close to a fight as you do for this one. Is that because you've made the weight and it's been that much easier at middleweight rather than light middle?
Yeah, I'm just a lot happier with myself, to be honest with you. I just feel a lot more comfortable in things I'm doing. I know all the hard work's been done. No stone unturned. I know I'm 100% ready, so I just feel a lot more cheerful for that, really, because coming into this week, I'm actually lighter now, making the middleweight limit the more I normally am making light middle, which is, I'm actually quite annoyed about it, because why couldn't I do this before? But yeah, I'm still eating well. I'm drinking stupid amounts of water, so I'm fresh. Like, you know, you wouldn't really think I'm 2 days away from weighing, and I'm 100% ready. You know, no excuses. I'm coming away. I'm going to be British champion again on Saturday night, no doubt about it.
When you got the call to say there's a British middleweight title fight up there for you, how long did it take you to say, yeah, that's for me?
About 1 second. Didn't have to think about it, because I'm a very big light middleweight anyway, and not only that, with my training camp being the way it is now, everything's on point, and I feel I've just turned around. I'm a lot better fighter now. I'm a lot more confident in my ability, and I know I can win a world title. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are playing a part at the moment, and I'm a lot happier on myself, and I know I'm going to win Saturday, and it's going to be a good one.
Just before we hear from Mark, what's going to be the key then? What makes you so certain? Do you believe you're the superior boxer, or do you have the power, or whatever?
All-round ability. I believe I can fight. I can box. Everybody's saying, you know, about Mark being this tremendous puncher. I don't dispute that he can punch at all. Like he's knocking people out. Whether he's knocking, you know, in my opinion, I think he's been knocking over crap opponents. But you know, I'm going to be the judge of that Saturday. It's not as if I'm going to go for a fight and not get clipped a couple of times. So, yeah, I don't think he's quite this, you know, the killer that people are making him out to be. So, we'll see.
Mark, listening to that and hearing what he thinks, you're not quite the killer that people are making out. What do you think of him, and what do you think of what you've just heard?
I just think he's talking absolute rubbish.
Mark, you know, mate. You know. I can see fear in your eyes. You're shitting yourself.
Listen, I'm definitely not shitting myself.
You were fucking shitting yourself.
Listen, I'm going to knock you out on Saturday.
You were scared.
100%. I'm going to knock you out on Saturday.
And if you knock me out Saturday, I'll get up and I'll shake your hand and I'll say, do you know what, Mark? You're a good fighter. Well done.
Sound.
But you ain't going to. I can
Listen,
fucking tell you now.
We'll see.
Mark
we'll see
my
on
words.
Saturday. We'll see.
Mark my words.
We will see on Saturday.
Not happening, mate.
We will see.
What makes you so sure, Mark?
Because I'm the better all-round fighter, and I just 100% I'm going to knock him out on Saturday.
He's had the 2 defeats against Liam Smith, who's been training with you, been sparring with you. What have you picked up from that?
I picked up loads of stuff. Other than Liam Smith, who have you fought? What's good? You stopped my brother on a cut.
Who have you fought?
I fought better opposition than you. Then obviously
do you honestly
Smith.
believe that, or are you just saying that?
I believe
have you been
that.
told to say that by a trainer?
No, I haven't at all.
Of course you have.
No, I haven't.
I can see fear in your eyes. You're scared.
Shut up, you dick.
And you're getting battered. You're getting your head punched in.
You're going to get your head punched
like your
in.
brother.
He's had his 2 big fights against Liam. What did you learn from watching him in those fights?
I learned a lot from that. I learned that he's a shitbag as well.
We'll see. We'll see.
We will see. We will
yeah,
see.
I know.
Do you care to elaborate on his shitbagginess?
Pardon?
do you want to say a bit more about what you learnt from the fights?
I learned a lot from that
See,
fight.
small we've been told to say,
he's a
Mark,
quitter.
come on.
I learned that he's a quitter, and when we get into deep waters, yeah, which I don't think it's going to go that far.
Who's to say you ain't a quitter?
You're going to quit.
Never been in a hard fight.
Pardon?
Who's to say you ain't a quitter? You've never been in a
I'm
hard
not
fight.
a quitter, mate. Never in a million
smashed,
years.
mate.
I'm
Trust
not a
me.
quitter.
You're getting smashed.
I'm going to smash that nose all over your face.
Yeah. We'll see.
You'll be taking off with them big ears.
We'll see.
Mark.
Well, we need to get personal now, do we?
Yeah, we'll see.
If you need her, you need her.
If you don't get to him early, and if the big punch doesn't work in the first 3, 4, 5 rounds, what then?
It doesn't matter if I don't get to him early, but I'm prepared for a solid 12 rounds.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Can you take his power?
100%. With respect, he's been fighting tomato cans. He's been fighting shit bags. And he hit someone half a shot and they throw themselves on the floor.
Yeah, with respect. We'd like to hear when you've not got respect.
They just want to pick up the money at the end of the night and go home, you know, just stay safe and just go home and be happy with a couple of quid they just earned. But I'm not coming for that. I'm coming to win, and I want to move on to that next level. I'm not saying I don't respect you as a fighter, Mark, because I do. You're a good fighter. But I just believe I'm the better man.
You're not. Definitely not.
I am, mate.
100%. We'll see on Saturday.
You know it. You know it.
I don't know it at all.
You do.
You recognise, though, that he's the hardest test of your career so far. Got to be.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the big step up, but it might be the big step up, but I feel like it's going to be one of the easiest fights of my career.
We will see. We will see. That is...
Getting knocked out. That nose is getting splattered all over your face.
Mark, it's getting fucking boring, mate. It's
You're getting knocked out, boy.
Don't miss it. This is going to be a special one. It's for the British middleweight title. And
I'm going to slap him round the head when I've won it as well.
Is the highly touted prospect going to proceed, or is Liam at the greater weight, at middleweight, stepping up a level? Is he going to prevail? I think either way, it's guaranteed to be a tremendous fight. And so we move on to our main event. Josh against Carl. which has been one of the most eagerly anticipated fights in British boxing. Ever since it was announced, people have been talking about it. Who do you fancy? Is it going to be Carl, who said he's a different level? Is it going to be Josh, who's so proud to have won that world title in front of his own fans at Elland Road when he accounted for Lee Selby? It's got absolutely all the makings, this one, Francis. It's a top fight, and anybody who says otherwise, I would venture to suggest, doesn't know a great deal about boxing.
Well, this is exactly what it is. It's one of the best fights boxing can offer at the moment. You've got, as we mentioned at the start of the press conference, Josh coming off that fantastic winning the world title in front of his home fans at Elland Road, sold out Elland Road, and Kaiser Chiefs playing. It was just electric. And we followed that up back in August with Carl's great win against Luke Jackson in a sold out Windsor Park. Again, electric atmosphere, and the fight was announced on that night. It feels like I've been waiting forever for it, but we're finally here for, as I said, the best fight in boxing this year. It's two guys at the peak of their careers, and I just cannot pick a winner. I've had the same conversations you've had since August. Who do you fancy? Nobody can pick a winner because you say one guy 1 minute, another guy the next minute. It's just a fantastic, intriguing spectacle of a fight. And I cannot wait for it, and I'm sure everyone in this room will agree with me that that's definitely the best man will win on Saturday, and the rewards for that are unifications next year. If it's a close fight, you can do a return. There's all sorts of permutations for the result, but what we do know is that it's anticipated as a great fight for a reason, because it is that. It's fantastic.
Well, the bookies have got Carl as the favourite. I checked this morning, and Josh as the champion. You can get as much as 7-4 against him retaining his title, which people might say is a fairly enticing sort of bet in a two-horse race, particularly coming on the back of his performance against Lee Selby. But Carl, believing, I know that you're back to the form of your life, working with Jamie Moore, and 3 days away from the fight now. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I'm relaxed. Looking forward to a good fight, a tough fight, which I prepared for in the gym. But at this stage, I'm just relaxed. My nature is to be laid back. I feel like I'm pretty laid back, and I'll be laid back right up until the ring walk probably. So, at this point in time, I'm in a good place.
It's been kind of gentlemanly and respectful since the fight was announced. Do you not sense a bit more of an edge as you get closer?
I think everyone does. It's a fight at the end of the day, so there's always going to be a bit more tension. And the thing is, I think there is respect between me and Josh. And I know there's respect between us, but it's a fight. And I got a text message from a good friend of mine yesterday actually, and he just said, total respect, but no fear. And that's what I'm going into this fight. Total respect for Josh, but absolutely no fear.
Where are you as a boxer now compared with the guy who beat Leo Santa Cruz?
I believe I'm better. Firstly because I was beating guys like Santa Cruz and even Quigg when I wasn't really enjoying boxing, and I fucking hated it. If I'm being honest, I hated it. But I was still getting big performances. But now I'm enjoying it. Now I look forward to the gym. Now I put in maximum effort in training sessions. I'm switched on. I have a much more smarter approach to my camps and train, just like Martin said as well earlier on. We're in the same team, and it's a very scientific approach we have, and I feel like I'm better now than when I beat guys like Leo Santa Cruz.
Now, before we hear from Josh, you've gone down on record as saying that you believe that you are a different class of fighter to him. Do you still have that in the back of your mind as you're so close to the fight?
Well, look, I believe that he's a very good fighter. I believe this is going to be a tough fight, but I believe that I beat any featherweight in the world on my day, and Josh Warrington is a featherweight, and I believe I can beat them all, but I'm fully focused on this man. I'll give him the respect he deserves. I'm completely focused on him, but I believe on my day I'm the best featherweight on the planet.
Josh, IBF champion, you're hearing that from Carl. Just give us your reactions first of all to that.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for turning out. As always, fantastic attendance. Thank you to the support, those who bought the tickets. I know it's close to Christmas, but you're in for a real cracker this weekend. Obviously, the card's fantastic. The main event here for Ultimate Barbell, world title. I don't know. I wasn't expecting that kind of response from Carl. Obviously, the few interviews where I've seen his ass a little bit with some stuff, but obviously tensions grow when the fights get closer. I said from 12 weeks ago when we sat face to face at the round table that I'd shown no but respect to Carl, and that's what I've really done. There's been a few interviews where media's twisted the words or whatever, and but I respect Carl as a fighter, and I've not looked at him as over the hill or finished or anything like that. I've gone into this training camp preparing for a Carl Frampton, like he says he is, like he says he's at his ultimate prime, and that excites me. That's what makes me get up in the morning and when my body's tired and graft my ass off in gym, I work hard, and that night in May was a very special night, and what you gain from that is confidence and momentum, and you've got to run with that, and I feel like it can take you up another few levels as a fighter, and I keep hearing this thing about levels, and I don't know how many levels there is, but hopefully I can find that this weekend. I'm excited. Carl says he's in a good place. I have to echo that. I'm in a very good place. I used to get maybe worked up with fights prior to this because you had to win to get to this stage, but this is what you want to be part of. These big nights, these big build-ups. People said, why didn't you have a steady defence? No, man, I'm not about that. I want to have the big fights. I believe I'm capable of beating any featherweight, and I've been written off from like English title level, and I want to fight the best. Talks of unification, it excites me. I wouldn't want a steady one after this one. I'd want to go straight over to the States and fight like Oscar Valdez. So, I'm loving all this at the minute. I'm loving the occasion, loving the build-up, I love the camp, and the best things about to happen on Saturday.
7 months since that great night at Elland Road, how have you enjoyed having that belt and walking around saying, yeah, I'm the champion? Like summertime, we had World Cup and that, it got me a few sambucas in a few nightclubs, so it's not done to me too bad. It's got me free parking and stuff like that in City Centre in Leeds, so it's done all right, to be fair. I've started to enjoy the fruits of being a world champion, but like anything, it goes in box at the end of the day and sits at the bottom of my bed, and that's that. I don't look at myself, or I don't say to my missus, here I last make us a cup of tea, I'm world champion. I still do dishes and stuff like that, I still pick dog shit up in garden. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I ain't changed as a person, it's just I've got another accolade outside of me where I am in my career, and I'll look back when I retire and really appreciate what we've done, but this moment in time, I just want to add more to it. I want to go as far as I can. Before I to the Selby fight, people didn't give me a chance. I knew, me and my team knew that we were going to get the victory, and after, as soon as I walked back to changing rooms, it was a case of who's next, and mate, the fire is burning ever brightly in my stomach. I'm so hungry, and I can't wait to get in there, honestly. Carl thinks that he's, as you've heard, he's at a level now higher than at any stage in his career. At 31, he thinks he's at his best. Do you agree that he's at his best?
We'll have to see. I mean, I say I've heard a lot in interviews and whatnot. I'd never said that he passed his best and all like that. All I've said is you can't really judge the performances against Denaire, against Luke Jackson, and against the other geezer who boxed over in Belfast after a long layoff. It's the same ones as the likes of Santa Cruz. You can't judge them performances off that one, and that's when Carl will probably at his peak of a career. Obviously, every fighter has peak years. It's a long career and it's a long time to hold that level. But like I've said earlier, me and my team are prepared for the very best Carl Frampton. I'd be a mug if I were to do so, if I were to look at him as over the hill or anything like that. So, I'm just hoping that after, when hand gets raised again, that there's no excuses of I could have done this, I could have done that, or it's finished, and we just have a pint after.
Pint after. You see, you'd be up for that, would you?
I'm off the drink. I've been for nearly a year, but I'll have a pint of Coke or something after. Look, again, plenty of respect there for me, but absolutely no fear going in this fight, and I'm willing to put it all on the line, anything it takes to win. And I think, not really personally knowing Josh, but knowing him a little bit, I think he's probably of the same kind of mindset, and that's why it has the ingredients to be a quality fight.
You kind of been there, done it, wanting now to get the belt back at the age of, what are you now, 31?
Yeah.
How much does that ambition still burn in you as a boxer?
To be honest, it's probably there more than ever because I've been written off, and I think it's unjust, really. You look at the fights I had, Quigg, Santa Cruz, and I got beat in a close fight in the second time by Santa Cruz after beating him in the first fight, and people think I'm done. I went round the houses to get in this position to fight for a world title again. I should have realistically been walking in straight back into a world title shot. But I've had 3 fights to get here. I'm not going to let anyone take it away from me. I want this title more than I've ever wanted a title. And there's people out there who've doubted me, and people out there who think that I'm done. And this will be, sticking the fingers up to them and saying there's plenty left to go.
Leo Santa Cruz out there, Oscar Valdez as well. If you get through this, obviously there are more big fights.
Yeah, of course. Look, one fight at a time. I need to beat Josh Warrington, or that's all pie in the sky, at this point in time. So I need to win this fight. And you're right, there is huge fights. And that's the carrot dangling, The world title is enough. I want to be a world champion again. But I want to unify my second division. And I'm hoping to fight after Warrington, one of the other champions in the division.
And would you have the similar ambitions, Josh? You're a star in Leeds, and here you are fighting in Manchester this weekend, but the prospect of fighting, as Carl did in the States, that must be huge for you.
Oh, most definitely. I say, box takes with Ellen Road, a dream achieved. Well, throughout my career, I've been going on achieving dreams, things that people thought I'd never be capable of doing it. I thought when I won British title at Leeds Arena, that would never be topped. Europeans and international fights, world title, and a massive underdog against Lee Selby when no one gave me any chance whatsoever. And now we're over in Vegas when Carl lost his world title, and I'd seen the build-up. I'd seen his fans all about the bars and the pubs, and I'd said from that day, I want to taste of this. I want to be going over to the States and having the big nights over there. I want to be taking the crazy Leeds fans along, and whoever wants to follow our journey. And it's all touching distance now. It's not like I'm talking out my arse here. It can all be made. All I've got to do is keep winning. So that's what's my drive. Keep winning, and the big fights, the big nights, they'll happen.
So lastly, before we open it up to the floor and questions from people who are here, and of course lots of interviews I'm sure to follow that, just for the wider audience and people watching online, what do you think think's the key factor for you in the fight on Saturday? What makes you think you're going to win?
I'm quite naughty with my headbutts and my elbows, so they might come into play. But listen, I'm hungry, and a lot of people don't know what I'm capable of, because no one give me a chance against Selby. We won't be able to do this, we won't be able to do that, but we handled Selby easy. I know Selby's a different fighter to Carl, but we'd always been able to adapt. I just think people look at me as a come-forward pressure fighter, but I've got different attributes and some stuff what I ain't even brought to the table, so it's about timing as well. I believe it's my time. The way that everything's gone, like I say, confidence, momentum, and everything going in my stride. I feel I'll beat anyone in the world now, John. But what a show it's going to be. We're talking about two of the best sets of fans in the world. I've been over at Belfast. fair stand and I've seen Cal's fans, and they're fantastic. They make some noise. That being said, you see my fans back in May, Ellen Road. They bring the noise too. So it's going to be a cauldron in there in terms of noise. And then 2 fighters who want it bad, it makes a special fight. So, we don't have to be chucking tables at each other or, slanging each other to death for it to sell. If you're a boxing person, if you know boxing, then you know that this is the fight to watch this weekend.
And final word for you, Carl. What do you think is the key for you winning this?
Well, it depends. I think that no matter what Josh and his team say, I think that they think that I'm over the hill. And
I said, Carl, I've never said that. I've never thought that you're over the hill. I just said that a couple of minutes ago. I said, I don't think you're over the hill. I've been preparing for you as raring to go as your peak.
I've seen things in the media that kind of suggest that, and I think that when this fight is taking place and it's getting sticky, if it may turn into a dog fight, I'm prepared for it, and that's when they'll see and they'll realise that I'm not over the hill and I have so much left to go. Josh mentioned that he wants it more than me. I don't know him personally, I don't know how much he wants it, but it would be very hard to want it more than I want this title right now.
It's going to be very special indeed, and it's going to be a great atmosphere, I'm sure. As Francis said, there are still just a very small number of tickets available for Saturday night. Of course, you'll be able to watch it on BT Box Office, and it promises to be, I think, the card of the year. Now, you'll be able to do one-to-one interviews shortly, but before then, any questions for any of the guys up here from the floor? Shout them out if so, please.
Don't all come at once.
Come on, come on. Anybody?
Otherwise, there's no one-on-ones. From the press. From the press.
Oh, Baz.
Oh no, Sean, you're all right.
Anybody else? No? Yeah.
Yeah.
You said that you did the quick fight in the Santa Cruz fight, you got to the point of 18 boxing.
Yeah.
So at any stage you ever thought of packing it in?
I never really thought of packing it in, but I kind of thought, 5-6 years ago, I had this age, like 32 is about the limit for me, because I didn't want to be doing it anymore, but that's all changed now. And why would you pack something in while you're still performing at your best, while you're enjoying it for the first time, probably since I turned professional? So that's in the back of my mind at the minute.
Yep.
Before the heads, before he got stopped because of the cut and everything else, did you actually see what I done to him? Did you have your fucking eyes closed all the time?
Listen, you won
Did you have
the,
your
you
eyes
won the
closed?
first couple of rounds, you won the last couple.
I smashed him to bits, you fool.
No, you didn't.
I smashed him to bits.
No,
I
you
made
didn't.
a fool of him.
No,
I'm
you
going to
didn't.
do exactly the same
No, you
to you.
didn't. No, you won't. Definitely not.
End
Definitely
of.
not.
Does that answer your question, Dev? Follow up?
See, the thing is with Dev, he likes to stir the pot. I'll give him that one. He loves it.
Right, anybody else? Nick, you're back. Anything to say?
What it lasts. What it lasts. I don't think it's going to go past 6.
4 to 6. 4 if he's 6 if he's lucky.
Thank you.
He's a massive bully and he's getting beat.
We'll see. We'll see. We will
Simple as
see.
that. See these bullies, when people stand up to them and give it back to them, they kind of like you can see fear in them. That's exactly what I'm seeing in Mark.
There's no fear whatsoever
He knows
in me.
full well.
How can you fear
he's
me?
Getting done. He's getting done.
Never in a million years.
Well, thank you very much. Do you want a final word, Francis?
Francis knows he's going to win. Francis knows.
on the show, I'll have a final word. I think, you know, as we've heard from all the guys today, they're all very excited about Saturday. I know that it's going to be a fantastic night. As John mentioned, there's a few tickets still available. If you can't make it down to the arena, though, then we're live on BT Sport box office. I want to thank BT, 32 Red and Foot Asylum for their continued support, and especially thank all the fighters for all being here and making Saturday night what it's going to be, which is going to be a great night of boxing. Thanks very much.
Right, well.